To get started, we load the program counter built-in chip. So we go to the Tools folder and we look for built-in chips. And inside the built-in chips, we search the program counter.hdl file. Here it is. This is a built-in chip, and we see that it has a GUI side effect that shows the contents of the program counter, which is essentially a register with some control bits. And indeed, we see that it has a 16-bit input, a 16-bit output, and 3 control bits named load, inc, and reset. So let us load some value into the program counter. So we want to put in the number 23. We have to run the clock in order to commit this value. But we see that actually nothing happens. We are running the clock, nothing seems to happen. And nothing seems to happen because we forgot to assert the load bit. So let us assert the load bit and run the clock. And indeed, we see that the program counter now contains 23, but it doesn't really count anything, does it? It seems to be fixed on 23. Well, it's fixed because we forgot to assert the inc load bit. So let us do that. We assert the inc load bit, and still nothing seems to happen. Well, nothing seems to happen because in every cycle we do 2 things. We tell the register, the program counter, to increment, but we also load it with 23 in every cycle. So it stays at 23. So if you want the program counter to finally count anything, we have to turn off the load bit, run the clock, and finally it looks like we are cooking with gas. The program counter advances in every cycle by 1, and this is the classical operation of a program counter. In fact, we can click the fast forward icon, and this will do sort of an infinite loop that runs the clock forward, and we see that indeed in every cycle the program counter advances by 1. Very nice. Let's stop the clock and let us reset the program counter. So we set the reset bit to 1, and we hope that the program counter will turn to 0. And let's run the clock, and indeed we see that in the next cycle, the program counter is 0. Well, it doesn't count again because reset is still 1. So we have to turn off the reset bit and run the clock, and we see that now indeed the program counter progresses nicely in every cycle. So this has been a demo of the program counter, and let's go back to the lecture.